just so you guys can see the second of, just so you know, I changed the setting on the cardstock to pressure more. If yours allows that, I find it to be a little bit better cutting it out. And I'm just doing cardstock, medium cardstock in the settings. If yours allows the settings, if yours is the dial one, just turn it to cardstock, a little bit thicker one. And then let's see, so you guys can see this one should be a little bit faster. That's why I was going to keep this on the video. So yeah, I like the look of the pen. It's not as colorful. I could probably use more colorful pens. I just have to have a lot of black pens. Now, after it draws, I'm having cut a bunch of holes. If you're designing things on your own, I just want to emphasize this one more time. Be careful how many holes you add. Too many makes it so like it's not as stable. Learn that the hard way. Just so you guys can see what I mean by this made one side of the insert. There you go. Bloom and grow. Super cute. And I'm gonna glue on my brown cardstock pot here. And then now they're gonna put little flowers in there. Super fun, super easy. And the next part of this video will be, I'm not gonna show you the other side of the insert because it'll take forever to draw it. But the other side will be the cereal box. And that one has a little bit more steps to it, so I will show a video of that. And then I'll show assembly, and that should be everything. Okay, so here's the finished product of the mermaid. Here we go. And I'm going to show you in this part how to do the cereal box part, which is a little bit more complicated. These ones are pretty standard, but look how cute it is. The reason I like to also laminate them, but you don't have to right now because my kids are a little bit older. I laminate them so my kids can use like markers and color on it too. So it kind of turns into a coloring page also, which is kind of nice because the goal is to have all the alphabet and each one has a little trace or letter on it. So that would be fun for them to do as they get older. Right now, my kids are only 14 months, and just turned 2.5. So they're little still. But as they get older, I hope to use this for the table. Okay, so for the trickier part. Now, not all cereal boxes work on this, okay? But the standard size, I seem to work. It doesn't cut it perfectly either, so you kind of have to work with it, but it's environmentally friendly. Because if you really wanted to, I'll show this at the end of the video too. So I just open up the cereal box. If you really wanted to, you could turn one cereal box. And I did it, but my kids are little right now, so I have to laminate. But before my current method, this is how I was doing it. I was taking one of these, cutting it out on one side, and having the Cricut draw on one side, and then doing it again to the other side, and then gluing them together. They're sturdy enough, not as sturdy by no means. The hard part is if your kids are younger, they'll tend to bend it, and all your hard work might get ruined. So right now, that's how I learned to laminate and add cardstock, because I need it a little bit thicker and a little bit more durable because my kids are little. But if you have like a 5 or 6 year old where you're comfortable that, hey, if it gets damaged, not a big deal, or that they won't just kind of try to eat it or shred it, it's a really good way to be super environmentally friendly, because then you're just repurposing this cereal box into an insert. And then you just have the pen draw right onto it. And it looks good. And I'll show you that at the end of the video. I'll show you the different types of inserts that I've made over the time. So from here, when you're cutting it out, the cereal box, try to leave a little bit of an edge. So what I mean by a little edge, the seam of the cereal box is here. It's gonna, if you're using the standard size, it literally, the insert is the size of a cereal box. Right? There's no extra give. So I'll explain what I want you to do with that in a second. So I'm just cutting it out. Same thing with the top, leave a little bit of the edge. I'll show you in just a sec. Hope that someone somewhere, this helps them out from all my errors I made. Okay, so from here, what you're gonna do is, I like to line mine up at the 1 and 1. The reason I do this is because you're gonna have to use painter's tape, and sometimes when it gets on the edge, it gets all messed up, or when it cuts too close to the edge, it messes up. So I like to start the corner of my box right on where the, well, it's 1 inch and 1 inch. I guess in this case it's 2.5 centimeters, but to show you, line it this way, here you go. It's 1 inch and 1 inch. I line it up right on that first square. I do this so I can make sure when I line it up on the other way that my cardboard is here. Okay, then this is the most important part. Blue painter tape. I hate being wasteful, so I try to make multiple inserts on the same day to not waste the blue tape. But if you do not tape it down, the insert will move. It's okay if it covers. So the blue tape, not a big deal if it covers, if you're not going to draw on the cereal box. If you're going to draw on the cereal box to be a little bit more environmentally friendly and not use a cardstock and laminate, then make sure the blue tape is only on the edge. I'm just cutting out on mine, so not a big deal. Okay. So, the more the merrier, but I hate to be wasteful, so I break it up, but to be honest, the more you use, the better it does. Now, my Cricut sometimes has a hard time cutting cereal boxes, so it might mess it up a time or two. That's why I stopped also printing on the cereal box, because sometimes it'd go well, and then at the final cut, the lip would mess up and it'd ruin my whole thing. So that's why I started doing it on cardstock, just because the cereal boxes are more temperamental. But if you're okay with that, because you're trying to be more environmentally friendly, like I was trying to be, just be patient, know that you might have to do it a few times. It's a little frustrating, but then from here, you take this cutter out, and I put in the deep cut one. It's got blue tape on it still. It's funny. Okay, put the blue tape. Let me put my pen away. Okay. Okay, so. Yes. Now, making an insert usually takes me about an hour just to keep that, time to get all this stuff. So it's definitely, it might save you money, but definitely does not save you time. And that's including with the design process. So if you were just doing my designs, it probably only take about 20-30 minutes. It's just bad. Then from here, I put the deep cut pen, and then this is the more important part. You can see my computer. Okay, so let me cancel this so I can show you what I need to do. When doing the cardstock, Cricut. Okay, when doing the cereal box, here's the cereal box one. Like I said, I'm going to rotate it to vertical, and I'm going to line up this square on that 1 and 1 like I told you, but slightly off. Hopefully you can see my best video. So I'm moving the cereal box. You see the corner of the box right on that 1 and 1, and moving it slightly down, but very close. Because remember, I moved my cereal box to be right on that seam. It's going to cut right on the seam. If you're doing the standard cereal box, there's not a lot of extra room, so you need to be pretty precise. If you're doing the family size, you got plenty of room. But if you're doing the standard size, it's like right on the money. And so you can see it'll fit on the standard 12 by 12 mat. Okay, hit continue. If you have my Cricut, you're like my style, I have no idea which one it is. But if you have this one, it's going to allow you to select cereal box. If you have the standard one, I believe my mom's had a dial that you can turn it to like a more intense setting. Try it. And then try it with a deep point blade, and try a few cuts and see what works. And very, very important, change this pressure to more. because the default just isn't enough. And even then, it doesn't always cut it because my Cricut's old and my blades are very old. So from here, let's see if it does it. So it doesn't like that lip, so I might put a little bit more tape right there. Just the lip knocks it out. Try not to let the tape go over the edge too much. Okay. I don't know if I did much there. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Okay, so it should work. All right, let's see what happens. And if it doesn't go well, I'll show you what goes wrong. Clearly my blue part didn't do much. Cutting out the rectangle now. Should be cutting out the circles. Now it's cutting out the insert shape. Let's see how I did. Sometimes it does better than others. Certain cereal boxes, like cracker boxes, like husband likes chicken and biscuit, they have an extra like layer, so my Cricut doesn't do the best job cutting it out, but at least gives me enough to where I can take an X-Acto blade and kind of cut it out myself. So let's see how this one did. This one was a Cheerio box, I think, so let's see. So far, so good. At least got the main one. Remove it so you guys can see. Okay. Oh, side note, if you're gonna print onto it, when you do the blue tape, be very careful because it does peel off the edge. So, okay, so I had a little bit of issue there, but I'll cut that. Let's see about the rectangle. Hey, the rectangle is good. You could leave on the blue tape if you want, take it off. I leave a lot of times because it makes it struggle. So the circles, it didn't cut out as deep. Okay, so, you know, some of them it did, some of them it didn't. If you press on the paper part, I've tend to have more luck. Kind of press and go. And ta-da! There's some blemishes and things like that, but overall, not too bad. And let me cut out this little part. There you go. And then the next part of the video, I'll show you assembly and some different styles I've made. Thanks for watching.